Hello, I am Board Game Hubby.
And I'm Board Game Wifey.
Today we will be talking about and showing you our haul, aka loot, from Essen Spiel 2022. It was our first time going. It was a huge pleasure, and let's just jump right into the stuff you want to see. Do you want to grab the first game?
Yes.
So this game here, I've told Kathrine to pick this first because it was probably, in my estimation, the hottest game at the fair.
So hot.
This is Revive by Aporta Games. A couple of the designers here also designed Santa Maria. This is a Euro game. It's about rebuilding civilization after it's fallen, like a post-apocalyptic type theme. And you're essentially using multi-use cards in an apparently innovative way. And you're starting on this map and you're building outwards. And is this something you would like to play,
Well, the double function cards and the theme on the front looks like something I want to play. When I look at it at the back, not so sure. I'm lukewarm.
All right, fair enough. By the way, the reason I asked Kathrine if she wants to play it is because it's me who bought the games and it's me who did the research. So a fun little thing in this video is that I'll be asking Kathrine whether it seems like something she'd want to play. Next game was another very hot game, Tribes of the Wind. This sold out, and Revive sold out as well. It sold 1,000 copies. This sold out at least in English. This is by La Boîte de Jeux, which I'm not pronouncing correctly, with beautiful artwork by Vincent Dutray. The innovative thing in this game, it's like a family plus medium weight game or lightish game. The innovative thing here is that you can use the backs of other people's cards. So you can see you're using cards and it's standing on like stands because the backs matter for the possible actions that you have.
That sounds fun.
Yeah?
I'm going to give it a try.
Yeah, awesome. I'm also very much looking forward to it. All right, so I guess 1 out of 2 or 1.5 out of 2.
Oh, it's heavy.
Yeah.
Or is it?
It's a heavy box and it's a medium weight game. This is Mosaic, A Story of Civilization by Forbidden Games. This is a civilization builder. So think Age of Empires.
Ooh.
And I'll just show you some of the back again. And like you're moving around the map, building stuff. I think also moving up some tracks, using cards, etc. All that good stuff. I don't know if it's something you would like to play.
Sounds cool. I like Age of Empires, and Mosaic makes me think of some kind of puzzle, so I am in.
Awesome. Before we move on to the next one, I almost forgot. There's one game we don't have here. There's one game that was so big that they sold it at the convention, but you're receiving it later via mail, and that is Oathsworn Into the Deepwood, which is a boss battler. So it has like 2 phases. First, you're doing like a choose your own adventure type of thing, like going down different paths until eventually you have to face a monster and you're opening these mystery boxes. So like it says, open box 14 and see which monster you're facing. You don't know in advance.
That sounds fun. I like build your own adventure.
Or choose your own adventure.
Choose your, but also build. No.
Yeah, and boss battler, like in Sleeping Guards and Adventure Quest.
Sounds good.
All right. I'm counting that as a yes. Next up, we have Beer and Bread by Deep Print Games in collaboration with Pegasus Spiel. This is by Scott Arms, who did Claim, which we have played. He likes to do 2-player games, amongst other things. And this is a 2-player game about you have to build up your production of beer and bread. And the thing in this game is that at the end of the game, you only count the points from the thing that you scored the lowest in. So you have to both get like beer points or bread points.
Right.
So like the theme doesn't attract me at all.
No, same.
And it's a brownish, boring, typical Euro cover-ish.
Yeah.
But it's multi-use cards and the win condition, and you change between 2 phases, like there's dry and wet season. It seems like a streamlined, good 2-player game.
I will give it a chance.
Yeah.
But only because that you agree with me in that it looks boring.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It does. I still am amazed that there are boring covers these days. Just always hire Vincent Dutray. This is the only expansion that we bought. No need to talk much about it. We love Cocopelli. This adds new cards to that game. It's a game with cards that have special abilities, and you're trying to win.
Hopefully, we will play it today.
Yeah, actually, we will be playing it later tonight with our friend. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
We hope to wrangle him into doing that. Yeah. What do we have? Ooh, another heavy box. Oh, by the way, Beer and Bread was sold out. This too was sold out because there were only 50 copies available. This is Flower by the same duo that did the Red Cathedral, which we haven't played, but if you have played it, maybe it'll help you decide. It's a Euro game. This is also a Euro game. I'll show you the back here. Sorry about the flare. We haven't we haven't wrapped out these games yet. Anyways, this is a game where I think you're competing in a flower competition or running a flower business of some sort. It's a Euro game, and you're using workers, but the workers are of different kinds, and sometimes a certain worker go on strike, so it costs you something to use those workers, get them back, something along those lines. I gotta admit, it was mostly the cover that drew me in.
I like the cover too. I like worker placement, so I'll give it a go.
Awesome. Only 50 copies. I was very surprised by that, so I don't know if there's only 50 copies in the world. Another very hot game, Flamecraft. Literally. This is the deluxe version, which cost 3 times more than the standard retail version.
Oh my god.
I still don't know if that was a wise investment, but the reason... oh, and by the way, this is a game which you're controlling a dragon, going to different magical shops, which will help you with certain abilities, gaining resources.
Dragons going shopping?
Yeah. Are you in?
Yes, of course.
So one of the things you get with the deluxe version is you get wooden tokens, metal coins, and you get these minis.
Ooh.
So otherwise you get screen printed wooden meeples, which is also very nice, but I just figured I might get this more easily to the table if there were these painted minis.
I think you could get it to the table anyway. I love the artwork.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
It looks very stunning. This was very popular. I know the deluxe version sold out. If the regular version didn't sell out, it's because they had a lot available. This was one of the lines where it spiraled around the booth, at least on the first day. Very popular. Do we have more over there? We do.
This one and one more.
We have Challengers. Challengers is from what I'm told, actually a very simple game. By the way, this is by One More Time Games, who also did Rift Force, which was one of our favorite games from last year in collaboration with Seaman Games. This is like a tournament-style capture the flag game in which before each round starts, you're drafting your own team of like dinosaurs, wizards, or whatever, ducks, huge ducks, or whatever you can find. So you're building up your team, and then you're doing a capture the flag style battle. And if you win, then you advance to the next battle. So if you play 4 players, you can do semifinals and then a final, stuff like that.
I like the idea about the tournament style, but it sounds like a head-to-head game, and I'm not super into that. So let's go with a lukewarm on this one as well.
Yeah, this one might be one that I very much want to bring to the table. But fair enough. It has a very kidsy look, and I think it is sort of lightish. But a lot of people have just been giving this great reviews.
It says 8 years plus, so I think it's light enough.
Yeah. Also, I think this sold out, at least the English version. There were a lot of tables where you could play this at the fair. All right, one more game here is Astra by Mindclash Games, who usually do very heavy games. They did the game that I can't recall the name of, but it was very inside-outish in its theme. They do very beautiful games. This is the first in their new line of lighter games. This is a game in which you're filling out stars and building up constellations, and these constellation cards that you're seeing here give you certain abilities. And I love the theme, I love the look of it, and I love most games with special abilities, and I like earning them, working towards earning that, because I think it can help build up my engine, etc.
Yeah. It looks cool. I want to play. Yeah.
That's good. All right, I'm happy.
Sweet.
Yeah. And next up, we have some Horrible Guild games. If you stop by the Horrible Guild store and bought a game, you got this as well. This is Simlo, the board game version. And this is actually featuring board games. The pictures here are board games that were released this year. Most of them at Essen. I think some were meant to be released but weren't. And we got 2 because I shopped there 2 times. We actually already played this with your parents.
We did play this.
Yeah.
They were into it. They warmed up to it. But it's a more difficult version of Similo, I would say, because the pictures are both more similar and more detailed than just a Disney character or fairy tale character.
Yeah.
So, but I do like similar, and I like to build our stash.
No, I like that this is more difficult. Similar can sometimes be a bit easy. This is a beautiful version of it. It's, by the way, it's a cooperative hinting game.
Yeah.
Putting out pictures, and one person is hinting to those what they should be trying to get, basically. Very short explanation. So what were the games that I actually bought at Horrible Guild Store? One of them was The Great Split. This is a drafting game for 2 to 7 players. So you can play a lot of people here. And that's because you're drafting. So most drafting games go up in player count. But in this game, you're picking, like you have a hand of cards. You're dividing them up into 2, giving them to your neighbors, and they choose which stack they want to take. So you're trying to make like even stacks, and then depending on the cards you take, you move out on certain of these tracks here, and you just try to win and earn points. Is my understanding of the game.
I like the look of it. I'm not super into this I split you choose kind of game, but I wouldn't protest if you wanted to bring it to the table.
Yeah, I want to bring it to the table.
You want to bring all of these to the table.
I want, of course. By the way, most of these games we haven't played because
we just got them.
But also I researched and I just felt confident that most of these would be good. So I didn't want to...
we didn't try them at the fair.
At the fair, yeah.
No.
Only one of them. So this
We'll get back to that.
We'll get back to it. This is Evergreen, also by Horrible Guild. This is sort of like a further development of photosynthesis. So it has the same core mechanism of how where you plant your trees matters, because bigger trees can block smaller trees depending on where the sun shines from. So it has that like core mechanism. The difference from photosynthesis is that you have your own boards, so you're not sharing a board, so it's less interactive or less mean in that way. And you also have like different tracks that you can move up on to grant you certain bonuses and rewards. And again, you're also drafting cards in this game. It looks beautiful. I'm sort of lukewarm on photosynthesis. I think this might be a better version of that game to me.
I do enjoy photosynthesis, and I can see that I like the design of photosynthesis better. But I like the theme, so we can give it a go.
Yeah, a tree growing strategy game. All right, let's move on to some games that weren't released in 2022. Because at Essen, you also have the option to like get out of print games or games that just got back in print from previous years. And one of those games is this one. I had a arrangement with someone to buy this down at the fair. So I had planned it in advance. This is Merchants of Dunhuang by Mandu Games, which I believe is a Korean publisher. And I usually love Korean games.
You love everything Korean.
Yeah, I love everything Korean.
Except the North Korean.
This is just a small little compact game in which you're moving around this rondel of cards, and each card has a different ability that you can sort of activate. It just seems like light fun. Yeah, I'd like to try it.
It seems light and easy to learn, so I will give it a go for that sake, because it wouldn't be too time consuming. Doesn't really look like something I would be into.
Yeah, fair enough. Next game is Gem Rush 2nd Edition, which I had also bought in advance and then picked up down there. This is a game in which you're a dwarf going through like a tunnel system, and you're laying out these tiles, and each tile, I believe, has like a different way they work. Like you can activate certain abilities, something like that. I know Sika Sia from the Dice Tower really recommended this, and I love tile laying, and it's also like a optimization puzzle. You're trying to collect gems and such. Just seems like a lot of fun, honestly.
Well, it sounds like a game that I've tried before with path building and gem collecting, but I do also trust Sika Sia in his recommendations. So I'm lukewarm. Also on this one.
This is a so-called hidden gem. It wasn't actually even on purpose. All right, next game. We have a small little game here, Soloween by Play With Us, which I believe is a Taiwanese publisher. This is a little abstract game. You can't see it very well here, but it's basically like a Connect 4, but made more interesting. Like you're putting out tiles, and then depending on how you put them out, you can flip them over, and you need to get 4 in a row of the same color. Also, it has special abilities, so you can have different rules than I can, and stuff like that. Just a little 2-player abstract game.
Yeah, not super into the get a row for, what is it called?
Connect 4.
Connect 4 sort of game. Or
Then
the spooky themes. But
it's good
again,
for Halloween.
Yes.
Soloween. Yeah, fair enough.
Or solo ween.
Soloween. This is a game that had been out of print for some years, Tulip Bubble, but it's very much back in print, or at least they brought a lot of copies to the fair. This is a game in which your like the theme is the Tulip Bubble back in the 1600s, and basically you're just trying to buy tulip cards at a low price and trying to sell them at a higher price. Is like the brief explanation of this game. It's by Moeda's Game Design, which I'm not pronouncing correctly. So like the idea of it seems simple, but I think it's very complex in how to approach it. And I think we have a gaming group who would like this sort of game.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Sure. All right. Then let's move on to a little box here that goes by the name of Splendor Duel. This is a 2-player version of Splendor, which we have and we like. We like using it as a gateway game. We don't love playing it just us. Like if we want to play an ancient Bindle game, we might play Century instead. But this has gotten great reviews, and it's by Mark Andre, who did Splendor, and Bruno Cathala, who did a lot of other 2-player games or co-designed like 7 Wonders Duel and Raptor. So very much a fan of his work. This takes Splendor and turns it into a 2-player version where you have 3 different ways to win. So you're like balancing what you want to do. I think that sounds super interesting.
Yeah.
They were only selling 100 copies per day of this, so this very much sold out. But I have to imagine it'll hit wide release at some point.
Yeah, they only put 100 copies up for sale each day, and they were sold out.
Yeah, immediately.
Every single day.
Yeah,
immediately.
Like when the store opened, there were 100 people in line ready to buy it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you got it.
I got it.
Well, I do enjoy Splendor. I do like the different win conditions, so let's give it a go.
Awesome. Another game that there wasn't much stock of is Cat in the Box Deluxe. This is a reprint or a redo of the original Cat in the Box game, which has been out of print for some years. This is a so-called quantum trick-taking game. And there were only 250 copies of this. Again, this was the fastest game to sell out at the fair.
Oh.
Like 10 minutes into day one, this had sold out. But this is quantum trick-taking game in which you're playing cards, but then you decide what they are, like which color they are.
That's odd.
Yeah. So like, and then at some point you create a paradox, and then the round ends in something. But it seems to be a very innovative twist on the trick-taking genre, which after we played the crew, I just really wanted to explore this. So I have like 20 unplayed trick-taking games or something.
Yeah, and the reason they unplayed is that I'm not super into trick-taking games.
Yeah. This next game is a game by a Taiwanese designer. And this is the only game I bought at the fair without having planned to buy it in advance. And I talked with this very kind Taiwanese person who recommended this, and I thought, all right, I'll go for it. He said it was a hidden little masterpiece. So sorry about the flare, by the way. The light is hitting it. We're trying to not make it do that. So this is like a pocket game, a resource collecting and constructing like a tableau game. So you're putting out cards. It may seem small, but I think it is a bit complex.
Okay.
But it seems interesting. Like
I want to play it for the sole.
Maybe Sprawlopolis or something. I don't know.
I want to play it for the sole reason that you didn't plan to play it or buy it. You didn't plan to buy it.
It was a spontaneous buy. Yeah.
I trust
and it's,
the dude.
It's 1 to 2 players, by the way. We have Leonore here with us because she woke up. so she'll be joining us for the rest of the video. All right.
Hello.
So moving on, we have a small child, so we continue with some small games. This is Biotopia, which is by Mikael Løde Andersen and We Love Games. This is the second version of Biotopia, which we played last year, the first edition of. This is a game where we liked it, but thought it could do with some more replayability and maybe small tweaks, and this delivers on all those fronts. So we're very much looking forward to this, and it also has an expansion, which helps on the replayability front. So very much looking forward to playing this. And he was also there with his new game, Ocean, which he describes as a mix between Splendor and Ticket to Ride.
Leonora approves.
Yeah. Ooh, it looks very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So and it adds some tableau building and 3 different win conditions. And both those games, Biotopia and Ocean, sold out at the fair. So very cool. Impressive. A lot of kudos to We Love Games. Let's move on to AEG Games. We also stopped by their booth. We got, among other games, That Old Wallpaper, a game of piecing things together. It uses the Go Nuts for Donuts mechanic where there are different piles, and then if more than one person points to a pile, none of them get it. And if you're the only one to point to a pile, you get it.
And is it also a bit puzzly?
A bit puzzly. So sounds like something you play.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Oh, oh no. Okay, you put it away.
So that was That Old Wallpaper. Another game for AEG, which I know sold out on day 1, and then they brought in new stock, and if I had to guess, that also sold out. But in any case, it's Ready, Set, Bet by John DeClaire, who also designed Cubitus, one of our favorite games of all time. This is a like Cubitus, this is a racing game, but though with no animals except horses. And it's like more of a straight race. It goes up to 7 players, 7 or 8 players, 9 players. It goes up to 9 players.
So if you are a big crowd, this might work.
Yeah. And essentially this simulates a real horsing race. Like you can even have an app run the race for you. The horses are moving along, and you can choose like the time of when you want to bet, because there are only certain spots. So if you want to be the one to bet the most on horse 7, you need to grab it early if you want, or you can wait and see how it fares in the race, because sometimes the underdogs win.
Well, I think it looks boring, and when you look at the gameplay, it's also very plain.
It looks bland. I do agree, but I've heard very good things about this.
And he made Cubitus, so that's kind of like,
yeah, he gets it. Fair enough.
He gets in.
Speaking of Cubitus, we also got an extra copy of that at the booth.
So now we have that.
So now we have that. Yeah, we don't need to talk more about this. We've talked a lot about it. It's a great game. You should play it. And also asked about upcoming expansions, and he said he didn't know about any coming up. So,
but we are hoping for it.
We are putting
if
in
more
our
of
piece,
you buy it,
please.
Higher demand.
Yeah.
More content, please. Thank you.
All right, another game from AEG.
Wow.
Verdant. So. This is from Flat Out Games, who also did Calico.
I was just about to say there's Cats and Quilts.
And Cascadia. And also some of the designs that did Point Salad, which you haven't played, but which we've heard good things about. This is a game, it's also a spatial puzzle game, like those aforementioned games.
I like those.
And you're basically just trying to build up, I think, like decorate your house with house plants, something like that, and trying to score points. So it's like
I'm gonna play it.
Puzzly point optimization puzzle type of thing.
Let's play it just now, maybe.
No, I'm very much looking forward to this. Yeah, so that is also on the to play pile.
It is.
Next up, we have let's stay in the vein of games that we usually like. This is The Gardens by Matthew Dunstan and Brett J. Gilbert. This is a drafting game, so you are building up your Royal Botanic Garden. I believe it's in Sydney, so you have an affiliation with that. She studied in Australia. And basically, you're just trying to build up your own little garden in the best way to earn the most points.
Sounds good.
Sounds simple enough. I like the artwork style theme. So hopefully it's good.
I'm into it.
All right. Well, we're on a good roll right now.
Well, I just said I thought that Ready Set Bet looked boring, but well.
All right, so this one is a 2021 release. We had wanted to play this last year. This is Dodos Riding Dinos. This is a Mario Kart style game. But you like other racing games. This is a racing game. Let me just put like a racing game with animals and awesome miniatures. And it has some dexterity in it. Usually I'm meh on dexterity. I do like, what's it called? A pitch car, which is a racing game with dexterity. But here, dexterity is not at the forefront. It's just, you can sometimes attack the other players. So like you throw bananas in Mario Kart, there's sort of a thing here. One of the things is you have to go 1 foot above the table and drop a piece. And if it hits someone, you do damage to them.
Ha! Okay, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, and I even bought like the extra racers you could buy down there because I'm like, can we have more characters with special powers? I'm in.
Okay, you threw me off with the Mario Kart kind of thing.
You prefer crash racing?
Yeah.
Racing.
I do. But the dexterity and the miniatures and the Dodos riding dinos
and different maps and all that good stuff. I'm actually planning for us to play this later today with my family.
Oh,
so now you know that.
Interesting.
All right, we're nearing the end. By the way, this is 30 games that we're talking about. Next up, we have a game that we got as a review copy. This is The Two Heirs, which is a 2-player game. I believe you can also play it 1 player. I believe there's a solo mode. There's a solo mode. It takes about 30 minutes to play. This is about gathering resources. You're moving around like a rondel of cards and just trying to optimize your actions. Construct buildings, score some bonus points, etc.
But you heard good stuff about this, right?
I read about it and thought it sounded very interesting. It's a new game, so there's not a lot of not to know, but it has tile placement, it has some constructing buildings, and it's a 2-player only game.
Sounds good.
Or 1 and 2 players. So all that sounded good. By Albi Games. We're looking forward to trying this, or at least I am very much.
Me too. Me too.
Last up, we have the only game that we bought at the fair after trying it. Because what we did was, or what I did was I had a maybe list. So I tried a lot of games to determine whether I wanted to buy them because I was unsure about them. And Kingdoms Dragons was one of them. We played it with a couple of other Danes.
Yeah.
And we liked it a lot.
Yeah, we did.
Or at least I liked it a lot.
Me too.
This is apparently based on the very first worker placement game to ever exist.
Oh.
So this is based on Aladdin's Dragons, which is based on a game called Kingdom, which was released in, I believe, 1998.
So now it's called Kingdom's Dragons.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And this is by R&D Games, designed by Richard Breeze. It's like a hidden bidding game. You're bidding with tokens that
are
the
workers.
Other players that are workers that you don't know the value of. So it's not like the usual worker placement game that we associate worker
like
placement
a hidden worker placement game.
Yeah.
Bidding.
But it has
style.
Indeed. Yeah. We're gonna do a review of this, so we won't share too many thoughts right now, except to say we like it.
We like it.
There's a reason we bought it after trying it.
As the only game out of the 14.
Yeah, there were other games we wanted to buy, but they weren't available. They were already sold out or never arrived. So that was. And let me show the back. I don't think I showed that.
It's upside down.
It's upside down. Yeah.
That was it.
That was about 30 games
that we
bought.
Haul.
That was our haul. We'd like to hear if you're interested in any of these. If we introduce you to any new games, well, we're happy to hear that.
If you want a review of some of the games when we tried them.
Yeah, which should we try first? If you've already tried them and liked them, which should we stay away from? Apparently, which were bad
Just sell
buys.
it before you open it.
And what did you think we missed at the fair? We didn't buy a lot of the heavy Euro games because, to me, they all blend together somewhat. And so I'd like to see reviews on them. So we only bought a couple, like Flower and Revive. But yeah, that's our haul. We're looking forward to playing all of these.
Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment.
All that good stuff. And see you next time.
Bye.